Episode number 30, it's called Jerusalem. It's number 30 of the 52 that I've tried to explain in the book The Signs of the Times, looking at history and of our days that we're living in and looking at the future from a biblical perspective. Now we see the miracle of the return of the Jewish people back to the Promised Land. Already for over 100 years. 1948, the State of Israel was established. 1967, the city of Jerusalem was reunited. Jerusalem has never been a divided city. In the over 3,000 years of its existence, it was always one city. Except for these 19 years between 1948 and 1967. Immediately after Israel was declared a state, the Arab nations attacked, and they have attacked many times. It started immediately in 1948, they attacked in 1967, in 1973, in 1956, and so forth. There have always been these attempts by the Arab nations to kick the Jews out of this land. But God has given this land to Israel. Now, what about these Arab citizens that live, sometimes called Palestinians, sometimes called Arabs, these non-Jews living in the land of Israel? Well, immediately after the Declaration of Independence in 1948, the Jews said, there's room enough for all of us. You live here, we live here. We can work together, we can have peace, we can do business together. Wonderful. But the Arab nations said, get out, they told the Palestinians. We will march into this small piece of land called Israel. We will drive all the Jews into the Mediterranean Sea, problem solved, and you will have it all. But it didn't happen because God was in control. And against all odds, you saw miracles happen. The Jews had nothing, hardly any weapons, and nobody was prepared to help them in the world. And yet somehow, God gave them victory after victory after victory after victory. Until finally, the Palestinians understood that by military wars, they would not get anything. So then they started a peace process. Land for peace, the principle was. And it looks like if you give us a piece of land here, a piece of land there, a piece of land there, then you will have peace. But the land for peace principle, I sometimes compare it with salami tactics. You know, the salami sausage, you cut slice by slice, and so you start by negotiating, getting this slice, and then that slice, and then that slice. But the end goal is the whole sausage, is the whole of the land, is the whole of the city of Jerusalem, not just a part in the north, or a part on the West Bank, or a part of Gaza Strip, or a part of Jerusalem. The whole thing must come back, because there is a deep-rooted spiritual conflict going on. The conflict in the Middle East is not between Jews and Arabs or Jews and Palestinians. The Jews have as their forefather Isaac, son of Abraham. The Arabs have as their forefather Ishmael. another son of Abraham. Different mothers, but the same father, Abraham. So they are even related in a sense, kind of nephews. The Bible calls Ishmael the son of the flesh, and Isaac the son of the promise. Now, God gave Ishmael blessings, and he gave Isaac the covenant. Sometimes Jews said, I wish it were the other way around, that he gave us the blessings and them the covenant. Because when you are in that relationship with God, it's unbearable. The whole world will hate you for it, because you're God's people. And so you will suffer. Yes, we have the covenant. Yes, we are the chosen people. But the chosen one suffers in the Bible. There's no nation like Israel that has suffered, no people like the Jewish people that have suffered so much right from the beginning because of their connection to the name of God. Ishmael got the blessing, and God kept his word. There are almost 300 million Arabs living in 22, 23 nations in a vast amount of land in the Middle East. And God promised them that they would be very powerful, and they are very powerful because of their oil. They can rule the world almost because of their oil. They can choke our economies when they stop pumping oil. So God kept his promise. Blessing for Ishmael, covenant for Isaac, for the Jewish people. And so it's not a problem that you're a Jew or an Arab. That's not the basis of the conflict. The basis of the conflict is that the descendants of Ishmael, the Arab people, have fallen into the hands of another God. And the God is named Allah. Allah is not the God of the Bible. He's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's another God who deep down hates Jews as well as Christians. So that's the heart of the problem. And in Muslim thinking, it is impossible that land that was once under Allah, that in the last 2,000 years, and the Turkish Empire and the Ottoman Empire, it is called, and the Umayyads and the Mamelukes. So this piece of land was under Allah for over 1,000 years. And they considered Jerusalem to be the third holy city of Islam. It's impossible in Muslim thinking that will ever return under religions that are considered to be stations passed by, like Judaism or Christianity. No, we are the ultimate religion, Islam teaches. We replace you both. Islam is the ultimate replacement theology. And so this is a deeply religious conflict. And deep down, a Muslim can never accept whatever peace deal is offered. Because Muhammad promised that one day the whole world would be under Allah, let alone this small piece of land, Israel, that has been under Allah for over 1,000 years. It must come back. By war, by peace negotiations, whatever, but the whole land must come back under Allah. And then there will be peace, they say, for Jews and Christians under the umbrella of Allah. And so then you start realizing this is not a political conflict or an economic conflict. This is a spiritual conflict between the God of Israel, who's also the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, and all the other gods of the world. But he is in control, and one day Jesus will come in glory, and he will bring the peace for the whole of the Middle East and for the whole of the world, for that matter.
Alpha.